All right, everybody, welcome back. The stars are out, the moon trying to peek through an overcast sky here in western Pennsylvania as we are back along the shores of the Ohio River in Monaca after a long day of traveling for your Pratte pack and working. You know, I wanted to mention this to you the other day, but I wanted to give it a few days. I actually began my program on KDK Radio talking about the tragic death of designer Kate Spade. Now, for those of you who know me, obviously, fashion at one time was pretty important to me. You know, and I loved the designers and those behind those incredible brands that when you would visit a local Macy's or some other great department store, they would kind of jump out. It was like that beautiful painting at a museum. Everything was a little bit different, but each designer had their own mark. And I know a lot of people who have loved fashion for many years, especially when it comes to women's handbags or purses, right? And no one did it better than Kate Spade and her husband, who began this company back in the 90s, and they really rose to great prominence. And she, of course, at one time, after starting at the ground level, ended up running one of the greatest fashion magazines this world has ever known in Mademoiselle. But when I think about Kate Spade and all of the others, Calvin Klein and Ole Cassini and Givenchy and Versace, I think about the brilliance of the talent of what really their life was all about. A lot of hard work. And you know, for those of you who think you know fashion, not that I know a lot about fashion, but I do know enough that people who work in the industry, they wear their heart on their sleeve. They really want to please the public. They want to try to plug into the subconscious of people around the world to see what the fashion trend will be, long before maybe they even realize it, right? And of course, the fall fashion shows in New York and Paris, that runway, they do soar, but they go through a lot of work before they get on that launching pad, if you will. And the thing that I know because of being around other entertainers, personality and drive and commitment sometimes can short circuit someone, and for some unknown reason, sadly, we don't know what happens, but things just, well, go awry. And they did with her. I'm not here to say anything other than I feel horrible that someone so young and the mother of a beautiful child that she actually stepped away from her business for a number of years to raise. And she said recently in an interview that I watched that she loved every minute of it. Why she would decide to do what she did. But I'm not here to, as I said, judge or to even reflect on that as much as I am the life of Kate Spade. Her husband Andy and her daughter obviously are going to mourn her death for a very long time. And ironically, I found out that her brother-in-law happens to be David Spade. I have always been a fan of him whenever he is alongside Adam Sandler making a movie, or for many years on Saturday Night Live, and especially those great movies with the late Chris Farley. Just tremendous talent. And I know this has got to be a gut-wrenching time for them. And for my friends who have dealt in the fashion industry for many years, such as Anna Barradelli-Knowles, who now makes her home with her wonderful husband and her children in the Bahamas, she knows better than I how much work and effort goes into fashion. So know this, to the people who loved her brand and obviously to her family, she will always be around with us because of her great work. That is one thing that'll never be forgotten, nor will Kate Spade. Hey folks, enjoy the rest of your night, and good night from your Pratte Pack in the home office.